Dear colleagues, we are moving to the main part of our event. Soon the ceremony of award ceremony will take part, and then the award will be given to the nominees. So we also have a great surprise for you.
Дорогие друзья, я хотела бы также напомнить, что после церемонии все приглашаются.
After the ceremony, you are all invited to a small party. Everything will be nice and tasty. We would like to give a little award to the most insistent and persistent lovers of children's literature. All of you were unique today. You learned a lot of interesting things with methods of work in different countries. I think it is all unforgettable, and it's very important for us that at the end of the Congress, online and offline, you will be able to watch all the sessions on our platform, online, offline, in recordings. It's very nice that in the chats we see Malaysia, Mexico, European countries joining us. That's very pleasant and that's very inspiring. We're so happy that we made it. If I tell you a little secret, we had to fight a lot to get the presenters who were making presentations for you today. I'm looking for all of you, at all your faces present here. We all experience problems related to COVID, and it was difficult to arrange for all of you to be here with us offline. Thank you all for coming to us in these difficult times. And then I think we should make a group photo of all of those of us who made this long journey to be here, to be present at on the first day at the opening of the 37th International Congress in Moscow. The young talents are for you here.
Вы почувствовали аргентинско-бразильские
You felt
нотки. И это
Latin American notes, the flavor of Latin America. This was school children of Gnesin school. The names of the kids. And the head of the orchestra is Olga Makarova.
Please, are you ready? Теперь я с большим удовольствием.
And now, with a great pleasure and a great respect, I introduce to you the executive director of the Council of the Board for Children's Book, Elizabeth Page.
I'll bring you. You can start.
So, hello everyone. Thank you for staying. Good evening. Oh, thank you. And welcome to the 2020 IBBY-Asahi Reading Promotion Award evening. I'd like to thank everyone who is joining us online around the world, and also to everyone who is here with us in this fabulous building in Moscow this evening. And I'd like to thank our sponsors very much. They have promised me they're going to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to watch us here today. I want to take this opportunity to really thank the Asahi Shimbun of Tokyo for their long-time support of this special project that has been honoured outstanding reading promotion project since 1986. But without further ado, please welcome the 2020 jury president, Ahmed Reza Ahmed Kerudin, who recorded his laudatio last week in Putrajaya, Malaysia. We can have that first film.
Hello everyone. 2020 marks the 31st time that the IBBY-Asahi Reading Promotion Award has been awarded to a group or institution whose activities are judged to be making lasting contributions to reading promotion programs for children and young people. We are grateful and warmly thank the Asahi Shimbun Media Group of Japan for making this possible since establishing the award in 1986. The 2020 IBBY jury evaluated 25 marvelous projects from 21 different countries. At the end, we had to choose one that is the best of the best. At this instance, I would like to thank all members of the jury for their commitment and hard work in the evaluation and decision making. It was a unanimous decision. And not forgetting, thank you to the IBBY Secretariat for supporting the jury process. Casa Cuna Quinteros from Buenos Aires and nominated by IBBY Argentina was announced as the winner for the award in April 2020. The organization was established in 2013 and comprised volunteers who were driven by passion and love for children, particularly those who were staying in a city hospital. The city itself houses many vulnerable inhabitants. Many have to drop out of school due to poverty, and books and stories are luxury items for many of them. The volunteers collected and made available books for the children and their families who were at the hospital. They also held storytelling sessions in various areas within the hospital. Their persistence brought winds of change, and soon many of the hospital inhabitants began to enjoy reading and listening to stories. This included staff at the hospital. Soon enough, thanks to generous donations and support from many people, a library was opened at the hospital. Casa Cuna Quinteros has made a significant impact on the people at the hospital and the city. They have also inspired others to do the same, and their advice is sought by others doing the same in other areas. Congratulations once again Casa Cuna Cuenteros, you received the prize money of 10,000 US dollars that was generously given by the Asahi Shimbun Media Group last year, despite the pandemic and lockdowns. And your diploma will be presented to you as soon as it is possible to meet once again in person. Thank you once again, the Asahi Shimbun Media Group and members of the jury.
Thank you, Reza. And I just mentioned the jury. They're all from the IBBY Executive Committee. So it's Basarat Kazim from Pakistan, Anastasia Akipova from Russia, Carol Bloch from South Africa, Sophie Hallam from the UK, and Nora Elias Somani from Argentina. So thank you, one and all. And now I'd like to share a short message of congratulations from Kiko Takoda, who is the Executive Director of the Corporate Social Responsibility Department of the Asahi Shimbun. I'll just read it quickly for you. I wish to congratulate the winners of the 2020 Asahi Award. Casa Cuna Cuenteros from Argentina, and I congratulate every one of you who has taken part in the activities for your outstanding efforts. I also offer my heartfelt gratitude to the panel of prestigious judges, those associated with IBBY for their dedication and commitment to making the final selections for the award. Thank you very much. And now I invite you to welcome and applaud the winning project from the 2020 IBBY-Asahi Reading Promotion Award. You heard them earlier this evening or this afternoon, and they made a lovely presentation. And here's a few more words from them to thank you. Thank IBBY for the award. Have we got the next film? Yeah.
Who should also be present. She's trying to enter this Zoom. So if you could please let her in. And meanwhile, first of all, we'd like to thank everyone for this prize and recognition for the award. We are very happy and we cannot believe that this is a dream that came true. And we're going to share a brief video and then we're going to read a speech to all of you. Shall I share the screen?
Casa Cuna Cuenteros nace en el año 2013 en la ciudad de Buenos Aires, Argentina. Surge a partir de la necesidad e interés de crear un espacio saludable de promoción de la lectura en el Hospital de Niños Pedro de Lizalde de la ciudad de Buenos Aires, la ex Casa de Niños Expósitos, conocida popularmente como Casa Cuna, actualmente un hospital pediátrico de 242 años de antigüedad.
And it has been working for a long time, this children's hospital.
El grupo se conformó inicialmente con 6 narradores voluntarios.
This group was initially made up of 6 volunteers, storytellers. Now there are 16 active members, 3 of them coordinators, 2 professionals who carry out the management and organization of the group.
A través de la circulación de los libros, de las historias, de la palabra compartida, Casa espacio de promoción de la lectura donde se recupere el lugar de la fantasía, la imaginación y la exploración propias del ser humano que se ven interrumpidas por los tratamientos médicos y la enfermedad. Un espacio saludable para los niños y sus familias, entendido además como promoción de derechos. Creemos que la literatura debería poder estar al alcance de todos los niños, niñas y jóvenes.
Muy bien. A ver. Espero haber dejado de compartir pantalla. I hope I'm not sharing screen anymore. And vamos a empezar con el discurso en español, ¿verdad? ¿Estamos listos? ¿Estamos listas?
Estamos listas.
Okay.
Hola.
Perfecto. Laura Armando is here. Oh, thank God. Here we go. Arrancamos con el discurso. Antes de iniciar nuestro discurso, queremos agradecer en nombre del voluntariado de Casapuna Cuenteros, en primer lugar a IBBY por habernos galardonado.
So first I would like to say hello to say thank you for this award. And I would also like to express my gratitude to the association. We would like to welcome the former asylum for children and the children hospital, but first of all, Granny Storytellers. It's a group of elderly women who tell stories. They keep these legends and these stories, and they pass it to other generations. So, how did this literature get to the hospital? It's very important that we passed through these mirrors. I lived in different areas. I would like to quote a poem by Anna Akhmatova. I'm not the dream, but maybe more often than ever you will have to remember the eyes and the voice that keeps the voice that is kept under the surface. So we follow this famous poet from Russia. We remember the Venice canals and the London smoke, and we even saw a unicorn who was passing by our house, but it was all true, and we all breathed the air, and we felt the touch on our skin. And if we just stop for a second, we will see the compass, and we heard these old legends, and they helped us overcome the sadness and the depression. We thought about the funeral and the death and the fear
ese que cada tanto nos empeñamos en destruir.
in this world
Que cuando la fragilidad
that reminded us of the history of the earth itself. Books work in the same way, like was said in Decameron by Boccaccio, like Camus said, and 100 years of solitude by Marquez, and the book by José Saramago, blindness. It all influenced the language of our planet. So this collective memory of the humanity is now rewritten. The history of the plague, diaries, and about the lockdown and the pandemic situation. So the narrative and the writers show us the world where people are kept at a distance from one another. So they start telling stories to each other because they are far away from one another. But death deals with them very cruelly. But new literature enters the world and it becomes a new window to speak with other people. The world is a paradox that is shown right now and demonstrated right now. So we are in Moscow, we are taking part being in Argentina and other parts.
mientras tratamos de salir indemnes de la pandemia del COVID-19,
So that their life is not so sad and depressed.
siguen muriendo a causa de enfermedades
And many people keep on dying,
la tuberculosis y el VIH.
for example, tuberculosis or AIDS.
Ciudad de Homelas, de la fábula de Orce Galerí. Siempre hay alguien que padece para que
So the world reminds us of other times, and people die so that other people live in better conditions. So this is the disbalance that we cannot overcome, and some people are deprived. So this paradox goes on our daily life. Our reality is that many countries in Latin America, we have such riches, human capital, cultural capital, but it is always under threat from it is always under some capitalist threats. And the children hospital that used to be it was created to cure kids. Now we suggest not only treatment, and we offer not only treatment of the soul. And many people are insecure when they think about the future, when they think about the job loss, and these are the oppressed strata of people. Many deprived people, they can see that the situation has worsened during the pandemic. We love our country, and we feel pain to see that this situation goes on, and we can see that Argentina is one of the countries that gives health care for free to its citizens, and it can offer medical treatment and surgery. That the number of surgeries grew during the pandemic, and the access to these services in some distant and remote areas in the north, for instance, 1,000 kilometers from Buenos Aires, the conditions are much worse there. Like in the poems of Anna Akhmatova, we are listening to the silence and we're looking at the broken window. But the art promises us liberation and deliverance, and the books we are reading are helping us to embark on a journey to other spheres and to see other spaces. We can be creative. We can create something using just things at hand. And we are going through the rooms with our backpack, and we open the world one more time. Thank you very much. So we are the storytellers, and we ensure free medical support, and we bring literature as some new treatment, and it's a bridge into the world of light. We can also speak about pain, about sadness. Sometimes words are just too poetic, and these words come not only from literature, but it can be just a tiny voice that cannot be heard on the international market. One of the young mothers who was in the in the hospital with her kid, she said that they lived in some remote village. She didn't go to school, but when the sundown came, we came down home and we read books. And our life was better with poetry. It can be some torture, maybe we lack words, but words that we find in the books, it's something that we need as much as we need air and water. And this is the track that leads us to our roots, to poetry. It can be a tree, a leaf, it can be reanimated at the hospital. The words cure soul and body, and this is the right for us. This is our responsibility, in fact, to give it to kids, and that's how this space becomes more inclusive, and we listen to stories, both you and me.
And this is a cure for your soul. It's like a surgical operation for your soul. And we can express ourselves, we can stretch our hand in support. We see attentive eyes, we see how people are listening to us. And this is the beauty of a gift, of presenting a book. It's all these words is a meaning that allows us to express ourselves. Quite often we cannot look into the eyes of each other, but the word of literature leaves its trace in the hearts of people, in the souls of people. We overcome the difficulties. We'll look into the window opened to the world, and this window is very important for children. We can see a smile on child's face. A 300-old girl suffered from leukemia, but every evening she listened to fairy tales. She was very angry about her condition, and she kept on asking why the princess has such beautiful hair, and this little girl did not have a single hair on her head, but she was listening to this fairy tales, and she was laughing. She had a smile on her face, and this experience was exaggerated by the pandemic. This ability to listen to stories, to fairy tales. We use the words to cure children, to treat children. telling stories and fairy tales in a hospital should be a right. Of course, it's not a pill. It's not a medication.
cura ortopédica, la máquina de curar. ¿Por qué no pensar que contar y escuchar cuentos, susurrar poesías, armar una ronda en el patio, tiene que ver con reinstaurar la palabra, con restaurar el lenguaje y se va olvidando porque
But
empiezan a aparecer las
to
palabras.
listen to the fairy tales
Las imágenes que quedan detenidas
means learning new for us. Even if we use medical terms, we show
de lo que no se sabe como una otra historia que uno va forjando en el mientras tanto.
we show to the children that there are new stories, new life outside the walls of the hospital, and these give totally unique cases, unique feelings to the children. This allows kids to overcome pain and even death. Hospital stories create a new time, a new environment. It allows to cover the gap between the social groups. Literature is a great equalizer. It makes all people equal to each other.
Privarnos de volar en las alas de mariposa, esconder un perro
Why should we say no to this chance of using literature? We can imagine that we are a butterfly, or we have a small dog in our pocket, and we can carry this dog all the way with us. We should break the framework of school experience. We should create a new environment for children. We should open the windows to a different world.
de la palabra y se rearma a partir de sus historias. Queremos terminar
We should understand that we can get united using our words. I would like to use the words of Ribera, Argentinian poet.
Hoy fuimos al vivero, trajimos plantas. En una de ellas
Today,
aprendimos
we
el modo que tienen de curar.
were growing flowers in the garden, and we learned patience from these flowers. We learned from them how to find water, how to find sun and blue sky, how to resist pests, and we learned how to resist to the hardships of life. Thank you.
Уважаемые друзья,
Dear ladies and gentlemen,
Афанасьева Маргарита,
we have Afanasieva Margarita, violin. She is a student of a musical school under the Tchaikovsky Musical School. We thank Margarita and Anna for their wonderful performance, and I would like to emphasize that today we have all the graduates and scholarship students of Vladimir Spivakov Fund.
Thank you, Margarita. That was lovely. Now I'd like to show the diploma we have. Thank you. This diploma will be presented to the Casa Cuna Curantes in Buenos Aires as soon as it's possible to do so in Buenos Aires, as soon as with the help of IBBY Argentina. Now I would like to invite Mr. Nicolas Juncal, the Secretary of the Embassy of Argentina to the Russian Federation. On behalf of IBBY and the organizing committee of the 37th IBBY Congress, we'd like to present you with this diploma. So, thank you everybody for being here. And once again, our warmest congratulations to the winning projects. And now, I think we have another wonderful musical interlude by a young performer. Thank you.
Для вас выступал Максим Соколов. Камиль Сен-Сан, романс.
It was Maxim Sokolov. He is a laureate of the 2020 award, and he is a student of Vladimir Spivakov sponsored fund. Dear colleagues,
Первый день
the first day of the work of our Congress is over.
объявляю
I declare
закрытый.
the
Объявляется банкет.
end of the day. And let's enjoy the meals.